Thank you for tuning in to the Teacher Dudes. Whether you're listening as a podcast or joining us live on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, this is a podcast created by teachers for teachers that's full of some random thoughts, ed tech, tips, and tricks, and a general focus on education today. Sit back, relax, and enjoy as your hosts Tyler Keefe and Jeff Anderson take it away. Jeff, what is up, my friend? It is finally Friday.
Dude, it is Friday. That means we have a 3-day weekend.
Yes, because Monday is Martin Luther King Day.
I had somebody tell me yesterday was Friday Eve.
Ooh, Friday Eve. That's one of my favorite sayings. Thursday is Friday Eve, and Friday is finally Friday, as I like to say it. Really quick before we get started, let's take a moment to introduce ourselves. I am Tyler Keefe. I am a technology integration coach in Nampa, Idaho. Previous to that, I've been teaching 5th grade for 13 years. You can find me on the Twitter at Keefe67, and we are working on getting a Twitter account for the Teacher Dudes. Jeff, go ahead and introduce yourself really quick.
My name is Jeff Anderson, and I teach PE and health. Previous to that, I've taught 4th grade, 3rd grade, and 1st grade. And I am the other part of the Teacher Dudes.
Dude. Now I am glad that you did not say that you teach children, because that's that cliche, what do you teach? Well, I teach kids. Like, okay. Okay.
I don't think I've ever said that.
No, you haven't. I've heard that many of times.
Yeah. I'm real proud of the levels that I get to teach while I'm doing it. I get very invested in working with them, and I take a lot of pride in it.
Take pride and you have some fun, right?
That's right.
If you're not having fun, then why do it?
I've started doing a random joke every day. Well, most days with my school at lunchtime, because they have to line up to get lunch. And so I'll put a signboard up, and I will put a random joke up. And it's just fun to get some of the kids coming to me at certain points in the day and looking at me going, really? Really? I'm like, yeah, that was funny.
What was today's joke?
Today didn't have one, but Wednesday had one, and Wednesday was, what do you call an alligator in a vest?
An investigator.
That's right, an investigator.
See, I know that one because my school is the Gators.
Oh.
So,
All right.
There we go. But we're right on the same page there.
We are.
That is a good one.
We are. And Tuesday was a drawing of a stick figure kind of freaking out because there was a tack above his head, and he was saying, "I'm under attack."
Okay, I have not heard that one. I'm gonna have to tell that to my son later. Yeah. He'll get a kick. He'll get a kick out of that. But Jeff, it's Friday, January 15th, and guess what today is?
Friday, January 15th.
Yes, that is true. But also today is the 15th day in a row that I have made it to the gym.
Oh, that's right.
15.
Yeah. I'm still working on one. Actually, I don't have a gym membership anymore.
You are. And I think your message this morning when I texted you the picture of my workout, let me go back here and see. You said, now if I could get my blank out of bed.
Yeah.
And that was sent, I believe, at about 7:00 this morning. And by that time, I had already gone to the gym, 40 minutes on the elliptical, took my shower, had my protein shake for breakfast, and you're still in bed.
I've got a lovely treadmill sitting here in my family room.
It might be time to dust it off.
It might be.
Just got to push it. I'm sitting here and it's like, you know what? Now's the time. Let's go. Why not? And I had to get to that point where I was stop making excuses for myself. And it's like, you know what? sleep is great, but I can do this. So we're gonna go ahead and just start going. So every day I get up at 5 a.m., head up to the gym, 40 minutes, and by the time anybody else here at the house is up, I'm done, and I got the rest of the day ahead of me. So it's kind of nice.
And you're a morning person, aren't you?
I used to be, and then I wasn't, but now I'm turning into it. And we all know, Jeff, that you are not a morning person.
No.
But
I have always been a night owl. Always been a night owl. Even as a little kid, I've been a night owl.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, we can work on it. You know, if you need to hit that treadmill at 11:30 at night, maybe that's the solution for you.
Could be. Maybe not 11:30, but
yeah.
I know what you're saying.
You know, and I'm gonna put you on the spot. I'm gonna challenge you. Tomorrow, make it day one.
I can't hear you. What was that? My microphone and headphones are suddenly not working very well.
Oh, no, I was saying tomorrow's day one.
Yeah. Still not hearing you, dude.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. There's always tomorrow, right?
There is always tomorrow.
As we said on Wednesday night, as we are doing our episode 5, there's always next season. So there's always tomorrow. But I'm gonna keep pushing you, because you know, even if I'm pushing you in a jokingly kind of way, you know, at least it pushes me. So that's what's important going on. But I have some other questions for you. I did not get Zane to record tonight, as he's actually taking his bath right now, thankfully. But I have a few questions to ask you, and they're going to be kind of rapid fire, and we need to know, like, without thinking too much about it.
Oh man,
your thoughts.
All right.
Okay,
let's
so
go.
Question 1. The one game day tradition you cannot live without.
I don't know if I've ever had a game day tradition. I don't think I've ever had a game day tradition. That's going to be kind of a shocker for you, but I never have.
Okay. So for me, it's eating my wings this whole season, even as horrible as it ended with the Seahawks being, an embarrassing loss against the Rams on Sunday. I still baked, not fried, not anything else, but I baked homemade chicken wings.
And what was on them?
I would do a mixture of some like Caribbean jerk kind of spices, or just buffalo sauce, you know, those kind of spices, but I bake them in the oven, and oh boy, they're tasty.
We got to get some of our habanero, mango habanero wings again.
Mango habanero, like, oh man, they're fantastic. Got to have that spice. Got to have the spice. But all right, you ready for question 2?
I hope I can do better than question 1.
I think you might be able to.
All right.
Okay, question 2. Turkey bacon or turkey burger?
Turkey burger, most definitely. There's no such thing as turkey bacon.
Well, you know, I will disagree with you, because there's no such thing as either. I think they both taste like cardboard.
But you said one or the other. Come on, now, that's a trick question.
Well, yes, with the third answer. And you can quote me on that if you want to text Brandy and say turkey bacon and turkey burger taste like cardboard. Feel free.
Is that what comes after the ellipses? Was the third response?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, there just wasn't enough room.
Okay.
But there is a third question. Number 3. Your favorite hockey team is?
I don't follow hockey. I used to, way back when Portland had the Buckaroos. And I remember watching the Buckaroos years ago. I don't even know if that was during the NHL. That may have been during another league.
Yeah, it had to have been another league.
But I don't follow hockey at all.
Were the Buckaroos, were they like kangaroos?
They were, yeah, they were kangaroos, dude. They were professional. I just remember that. I remember that. They were around the same time as Portland had the professional soccer team called the Timbers.
Well, they still have the Timbers.
They do, but they left for a while, and actually that league disbanded, I think. But
gotcha.
But yeah, I remember the Portland Buckaroos. So
Buckaroos. Do you remember there was some snacks, the Dunkaroos or something, where they're a little cookie and you would dunk them in some frosting?
Yeah, they were like a dinosaur thing or something, weren't they?
Yeah, I thought they were kangaroos, probably.
I don't know.
But dinosaurs, that sounds much better. I mean, why wouldn't you dip a dinosaur into frosting?
I've probably opened a bag for one of the kids at school at one point that couldn't get one open, but you know.
Oh yeah. That's one of the best things, right? And did you pull the old dad trick where you have the dad tax and you pulled the teacher tax where you had to take one from them?
Yeah, I tell them that all the time. It's a dad tax, and I'm a dad, so hey, guess what? I got to take a bite. Got to make sure it's all right.
There you go. And speaking of dads and dad jokes, I have a new knock knock joke for you.
Oh man! All right.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, say knock knock.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
I don't know.
You're the one that knocked at the door.
Yeah, I'm the one that knocked at the door. Is that Zane?
Yeah.
Did Zane do that one to you?
A few times. That is a good one though. I heard another one. I cannot remember it for the life of me though.
I got to get myself a compiled list of dad jokes. I've been looking around trying to find them so I can have a database to pull from.
A database?
That's right. Not a database, a database.
A database, yes.
Yeah.
For dad jokes, right?
Oh my gosh. All right.
See, you even said it. You didn't even realize it.
That may have to go into it right there.
No, that was set up perfectly, and I just thought of that on the spot. I wasn't even trying on that one. But good. It's okay. It's okay. So Jeff, on Wednesday night we had some fun. We were doing the ID Idaho Ed Chat, and that was a completely new experience for you. But I must say, from the few people that reached out to me afterwards, that they actually really enjoyed that and are hoping that we'll do that again. So what are your thoughts on doing that?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I like having the specific questions to be able to dialogue about, have people responding to them beyond just who's in front of a camera and a microphone.
Yeah. And it was fun. I like getting the different things, and I'm going to reach out to a couple of people that at the end, if you remember, there was the couple that both of them played the tuba, and I'm going to be reaching out to them to see if we can't get them on, because I think that would be a blast to get some more people on here. So with that, those of you that are listening right now or watching on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, thank you for joining us. Again, this is the Teacher Dudes. I am Tyler, and my partner in crime is Jeff. And if you want to be a guest on the show, let us know. Shoot me a message. Shoot us a message on Facebook, and we'll get you scheduled, because I think it'd be a blast to get some other people on here. And we are working through getting one person on in particular, and that Jeff and I both know. And so hopefully that's going to be coming through, because really, really excited to get to talk with them. But Jeff, before we get into our topic here with the episode 5, what's in a name? Any thoughts crossing your mind today on this Friday fun day?
Yeah, I'm trying to read your hat, but it's too far away. I can't read what it says.
So this hat, it says Barley Brown's Beer.
Never heard of that one.
Never heard of it. Oh man,
No.
You ever been to Baker City in Oregon?
Oh yeah. Oh sure, yeah.
So in Baker City, Oregon, there is a brewery called Barley Browns, And sorry, I was texting my wife there. My son's blood sugar is going down, and my son is type 1 diabetic. So I just had to quickly text really quick to let her know. But Barley Browns is a brewery in Baker City. My friend Mark actually introduced me to it, and it's right downtown Baker City. And they have a fantastic beer. It's one of the first beers I've ever had of this, and it's got a great name to it. It's actually called the Hot Blonde. And so, that might be right up your alley, Jeff.
Well, yeah, it could be.
But this beer here, I'm looking at it. It's a golden ale brewed with fresh jalapenos and citra hops with the additions of lime zest and lemongrass.
That does sound interesting.
It is really good because it's got that nice little sweet taste to it, and you get that the flavor of jalapenos, and then when you drink it, that spice, that kick hits the back of your throat.
You'll have to save me a bottle of that.
I will. It's really good. It kind of it's almost on par. Have you ever been to at the Edge Brewery in Boise?
Yeah.
They have a habanero cream ale. Have you tried that one?
I haven't.
Oh man, we might need to go there this weekend.
All right.
Habanero. Habanero cream ale. It's kind of the same, but it's more of a smooth taste, whereas this one kind of has a little bit of a fruitier taste.
So I like tasting beers that have different flavors to them, especially when they add different fruits or that sort of thing. But I was at a brew fest one time in Portland, and a buddy of mine and I tried a rhubarb beer.
Oh, really?
I would not recommend a rhubarb beer.
No rhubarb beer?
No. My buddy dumped it. I looked at him and said, I'm not dumping it. I'm paid for this, so I made sure to drink it. But I did not go back for seconds, no.
No, I don't know if that would be good or not. That as I'm looking at the Barley Browns beer, they have a few other flavors here that look really interesting. This one here, it's called Joan, and it's the fall replacement for the Hot Blonde. And it's this beautiful red ale is brewed with fresh ginger root and fresh jalapenos.
Ginger and jalapenos. All right.
Yeah.
I'd try that.
That seems a little interesting. And then this one right here, there's two more that I'm going to read, and one of them seems a bit on the route that I feel that you would go, and it's called the Breakfast Stout, and it is an oatmeal stout and makes waking up worthwhile. It says it's brewed with locally roasted sorbenots, sorbenots. I'm sure I just butchered that, but it's roasted coffee, milk, sugar, and vanilla beans.
So I've had stouts with coffee before, because stouts and porters are my favorite types of beer.
Yes.
And stout with coffee is very good. The only stout I think is maybe better is the bourbon barrel stout.
Gotcha. Have you ever had Mocha Death?
Is that the Irish Death? Is that from the same company that makes Irish Death?
Yes, same company. It's the Iron Horse Brewery in Ellensburg, Washington, which I went to my undergrad at Central Washington University in Ellensburg. But yeah, it's they take the Irish Death and add a little bit of coffee to it.
Seems like I have had that, and I can't remember where.
I think we may have had it together at Wingers.
That's what I was thinking, at Wingers.
Yeah.
We may have gotten that.
Because we all know every time we go to Wild Wings or whatever, I'm going to get that Irish Death, at least for the first drink, and then I'll switch to, the good stuff, Coors Light.
Flavored water. Yeah.
Flavored water. Yes. And then the other beer here from Barley Browns that I really want to try, and we might have to do a road trip. It's called the Twisted Whisker Scotch Ale.
Okay.
And it's their description is a traditional Scotch ale brewed with floor malted Maris Otter barley, some dark crystal malt, and a bit of peat smoked barley. Yeah, sounds
I hope
actually
that
really,
smoke flavor
really
doesn't
good.
come out too much. I had a hickory smoked beer one time that was horrible. So
Oh,
hopefully
really?
that smoke flavor is a very, very light hint in there.
Light hint. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't know. Next time we travel through, or, if once COVID's finally over, we'll need to take a 2-hour trip and go to Baker City and go to Barley Browns.
Yeah, I'm up for
I
that.
think it'd be fun. It'd be fun. But all right, so we titled this one episode 5, What's in the Name? So I bring this up because I don't think we have ever really fully explained where we came up with the teacher dude's name. And so do we even really have a story of how that came about? Or
I was going to say, could you explain it to me? Because I'm not sure I quite know.
it was just, when I had that wild hair and wanting to start this, it's like, what name could we do? We're like, I don't know. And I know that whenever, I'd call you up or show up at your house or classroom, you'd always go, dude, what's up?
Yep. That is my buddies and me for years. Dude. That's the standard greeting.
Oh yeah. That's just what we do. And so I was like, okay, well that kind of fits. And we're both dudes. So we're the teacher dudes.
It's starting to grow on me.
It's growing. Which part? The name or just doing the podcast?
Well, both. But I remember when you first said the name, and I was like, "Yeah, let's think about that one for a little while."
I mean, we could have been the odd couple with the husky and the duck, but that might have been a little awkward.
Would you be Felix or Oscar?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh my goodness! You just said the odd couple. You don't know who Felix and Oscar are?
No, are you talking about Felix the cat and Oscar the Grouch?
They're the odd couple, dude. Oscar was the slob, and Felix was the neat freak.
So Felix the cat and Oscar the Grouch. That's what you're meaning, right?
Oh, no. Okay, get on. I don't know, whatever Hulu. I don't know what has the Odd Couple on it, and watch a few episodes of the Odd Couple.
Okay,
now I got the song playing in my head, the intro playing in my head.
Is this Odd Couple that you're referring to? Is it a show in color? Not. It's black and white.
Well, I don't know if it's it may be color.
I would hope so.
You would hope so? Are you trying to say I'm old? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm trying to say I have no clue what you're talking about.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I know Felix the cat and I know Oscar the Grouch.
You seriously have never, you said the Odd Couple, but when you said the Odd Couple, you weren't referring to the TV show, The Odd Couple. You were just kind of referring to the saying The Odd Couple.
Yeah, just because, a Husky fan and a Duck fan, it's The Odd Couple.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
And speaking of Oscar the Grouch, do you ever watch Sesame Street?
Oh yeah, Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, and Electric Company when I was a kid.
Never heard of the Electric Company, but there was some sad news yesterday. I don't know if you heard, but Mr. Rogers' wife of many, many years sadly passed away yesterday.
Yeah, I did see that.
And I grew up watching Mr. Rogers, and I remember my parents making fun of me because watching that, but that show was fantastic.
I thought so.
And well, first off, before I get to this other thought here, have you seen the Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood where Tom Hanks plays Mr. Rogers?
No, I've never even heard of that.
It's like a biopic, and it is fantastic. And Tom Hanks does a great job of playing Mr. Rogers. and going through it that, I'm watching the movie, I'm there with my family, and half the time I honestly forgot that it was Tom Hanks and not Mr. Rogers. It was that well done.
Wow. Was that
So,
oh, that was the movie? I think I remember hearing a movie about, because it also talk about Mr. Rogers being, what was he, a Marine? Was he a Marine, or was that Captain Kangaroo that I'm thinking of?
I think both of those might be an old wives' tale.
Oh, really?
But yeah, that's what I've heard. But no, this one didn't go into any of that. It's more of the behind the scenes of Mr. Rogers, where the main premise, I guess, was there's a reporter from a newspaper, and this is back when they actually investigated things and didn't just have the internet to go off of. But he went and interviewed Mr. Rogers, and he was kind of skeptic about him being this this persona on camera, and it's like, no, this dude's not going to be like this. It's got to be an act, only to find out that no, Fred Rogers was a legit good dude.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about him.
Yeah, no. And it's a great movie to watch. I think it just gives you a different perspective. And my point that I'm going to go back to here is, we're living in a time of COVID where we have a lot of distance learning, remote learning, crisis learning, whatever we're going to call it. But if you think about it, Mr. Rogers was really the first, or one of the first, teachers to offer remote or distance learning.
I guess in his own way, yeah. Yep. Him and Sesame Street.
Yeah.
And the electric company, which I don't remember. So
no. But it was really interesting because I'll go back and I'll see clips of Mr. Rogers, and where he's literally taking kids on virtual field trips, showing them how things were made, and discussing that stuff, going over the tough topics with kids, the social emotional learning topics, and helping them feel better about themselves and how to deal with things, and then entertaining the kids by taking them to what's the make-believe land called,
on maybe his show.
Was it just the land of make-believe?
I think it was the land of make-believe. Yeah.
And we won't talk about the nightmares that I had from Lady Elaine, but it's, looking back, he was a pioneer, and he would have flourished and done even better in these days.
And this was all portrayed in the movie.
Yeah, it talks about it.
I'll have to see it then. That sounds pretty good.
It's really, really good. And I'm gonna double check here. I think it was the land of make believe. Let me see here. And no, maybe not. Let's see here. I'm gonna keep looking. Do you have any Mr. Rogers or Sesame Street things that just really stand out to you from your childhood?
Boy, that was a long time ago that I watched those. I don't. I just remember always being excited that they were going to come on at a certain time during the day, because they came on. I think that the order went Sesame Street for an hour, and then Mr. Rogers for a half hour, and then Electric Company for a half hour. And I always remember being excited that all of those were going to be on. That was one of my favorite times a day.
Gotcha. Well, I did find the answer here, and I'm gonna share it here on the screen. So the puppets on Mr. Rogers says the simple hand puppets, inhabitants of the neighborhood of make believe.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't the land of make believe; it was the neighborhood of make believe, and we had Daniel Tiger, the original Daniel Tiger, and King Friday the 13th.
I remember King Friday.
Oh! I can't look.
Look away. Look away. Keith.
Look away. Lady Elaine Fairchild, man. I tell you, if you ever get a chance to meet my grandma, there you go. That's her to a T. we had Henrietta Pussycat, X the Owl. I didn't even know that was his name. I thought he was just named the Owl.
Huh.
But yeah, that's the neighborhood of make believe.
So puppets are so fun. There's a couple times now we have classrooms that when they reach certain milestones, the teachers will email out to everybody that their students have met a certain milestone, and then we want to celebrate that milestone. And so a few times when I've had the time and the opportunity to, I have this puppet. I think it was called a Who's It. And it basically wraps around your neck and it wraps around your waist, and then you have your hand in it, so it's like it's hanging on to you. And and it was a first grade class. I did it both times, and I took that puppet into there, and the puppet doesn't have a voice, so I will talk to him, and his actions will respond back, and it is so fun watching those first graders respond, and knowing that they know the reason why that puppet showed up is because they achieved a goal within their classroom and they're being celebrated for it.
No, that's cool. And did I can't talk. Do you feel that helps motivate those kids to do better so that the puppets come back?
Well, I would think so. I think that the teacher probably at points in time during the day might remind students that Mr. Anderson and his puppet may show back up if you're able to reach this next milestone. Just that next little thing to be able to encourage students to maybe get back on task, or maybe dig in a little harder and work a little harder or something like that. So it probably does.
Now, does your puppet have a name?
No, it doesn't. And I told the students, I said he needs a name. Ooh. And so I'm waiting for a name to show up.
What about Ron?
Ron?
Yes.
Ron.
Just Ron.
Ron. Yeah, no, I don't know about Ron.
You don't know about Ron?
Names are tough. Like I never know if to name it an actual person's name or more like a fantastic name, something that isn't necessarily a person's name. So,
well, going back to the Ron is the name. The whole idea was it'd be Ron and Ginny, Weasley from Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
But it's definitely their personalities are a little different. And you have a cat, since we're talking about names tonight. What's your cat's name?
Misty. That's what my daughter named her. Misty. And Misty does not like strangers.
No, she swatted me a few times.
No, she says, "You may pet me with your eyes," is what she basically is saying. So yeah, Misty is she's not like that with my daughter or myself, but anybody else who shows up, yeah, she's suspicious.
And then and what are your dog's names?
I have a Chihuahua whose name is Peanut. When we got him years ago, he was just 8 weeks and he was just the tiniest thing. And so he got named Peanut. And then I have a boxer bulldog, and her name is Brooklyn. And she keeps Peanut very active, which is, I guess, a good thing to have a younger dog with an older dog.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the last time that I was at your house, and this was probably about a year ago now. It was right after you got your addition done and all that stuff, and out of nowhere, I started hearing a funny noise, and you had to explain to me what your dogs were doing. And could you, if you know what I'm talking about, because it's a bell in the background, and I still think it is the most funniest thing I have ever heard anybody get their dog to do.
So we couldn't get Brooklyn when she was a puppy to let us know she needed to use the bathroom, and she would always end up peeing on the floor. And so my daughter suggested that we try like the bell or the doorbell or something. And I was like, all right, well, let's give it a try. And so over the next probably 5 days, several times a day, we even bought a timer to remind us to let Brooklyn out. I would grab her paw, ring the bell, open the door, have a treat in my hand, let her out, and she would go use the bathroom. So then one day, my daughter wasn't here. It's just me and the dogs and the cat. And Brooklyn and I are in the kitchen, and that's separate from where the bell and the sliding door is going outside.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly I hear the bell. I'm like, what is that? I didn't recognize at first what it was. And Brooklyn's in there with me, and I'm like, what is going on? And so I walk over to the sliding glass door. Peanut, the Chihuahua, who I never showed once to do this, is sitting there at the door because he rang the bell, either because he wanted to go outside or he wanted a treat. I'm still not sure which one.
So now though, when either of the dogs need to go to the bathroom, they'll go ring the bell.
Oh my gosh, they ring the bell, and sometimes, and actually Brooklyn has kind of gotten used to, because she'll ring the bell, she'll go out to go potty, and then she'll come back in. I'll immediately feed her. So she's now got used to the idea of, as soon as I ring the bell, I'm going to get fed. So now every morning I hear the bell go off, and I know exactly what she needs. She doesn't need to use the bathroom. She's like, servant, come feed me now. In fact, I had my mom put the words servant on the bell. So whenever she rings the bell, she's calling the servant.
Yeah, it sounds about right. That
Yeah.
that is hilarious. And going back to names. So you've met my dog, Cat Dog, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's been a while, but the other dog that you would remember, may her rest in peace, Jessie Dog. But the other one, we have Cat Dog now. And my wife likes to tell a story that we named it after Katniss in the Hunger Games. But no, I convinced Zane when he was much younger that it'd be hilarious to have a dog named Cat. So we now have Cat Dog. And
at least you didn't name it Stay.
Yeah, that would be kind of fun too. Stay.
Yeah. Come here, Stay. Come here, Stay.
But the funny thing, every morning when I get Zane up, I go, okay, Zane, it's time for you to feed the cats. And he's like, and he never feeds Cat Dog. I'm like, Zane, when I say cats, I mean the two cats and Cat Dog, because she's Cat Dog. But the other name that I absolutely love, and I hear it so often, is when Zane is FaceTiming my parents who are up in Washington. I keep hearing this random voice, and it goes, "Hi, I'm Lugnut," and it's my dad on the other end just doing some weird voices. And this thing, Lugnut, is whatever, he lives at the dump, and I am Lugnut, and I like to eat trash. Do you have any trash? And it's just the funniest thing.
Yeah, Zane's gonna remember forever.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I'll just go around the corner in the kitchen, and I'll just make some noise or whatever. I'm like, oh, what was that? And Zane's like, I don't know. And I go, maybe it was Lugnut. He goes, please, not Lugnut. He's gonna eat all of our trash. And so every time, and we're probably gonna have to go there tomorrow. Every time we go to the dump, he'll now call my parents and FaceTime from the truck, and ask, or they'll see if he can see Lugnut out there. And every so often I hear, "Hi, Zane, I'm Lugnut." Yeah, I'm sure the people that are listening are like, "What are you guys doing?" But it's one of the funniest things. But
those are,
yeah, oh yeah. But with names and everything, and having fun, it's one of those things, because if you hear a name, you're like, oh, I had a kid named that, and you're like, that was a cool kid, or I'm never going to name my kid that because of so and so. And not to get into specifics, because we don't want to do that, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, sure. I've got memories of all sorts of kids who I really enjoyed, and kids who were challenging. but you bring up a name, and if it's one of the kids I've had, I will probably go, oh, I remember having that kid in 4th grade or 3rd grade or whatever the case may be. And those are the fun memories. I hope that someday. I worked with a kindergarten teacher my student teaching year and my first teaching year, and she was getting ready to retire, and she had so many stories. And I just said, you need to write a book. There are teachers who just simply need to write books, not about education, not about teaching, about the experiences that they've had within teaching. Because those stories are fun. I've got those stories. You've got those stories. This lady who taught for probably 45, 50 years had all sorts of stories. In fact, when we were talking about it, she said to me that she had said that day, she had said something that she thought she would never say. And the words that she had to tell one of her students was, will you please not lick the table? So
don't lick the table, huh?
Yeah.
Now I'd be curious how that would fly today. Seeing looking over and seeing a kid licking a table.
Mine was, will you please not put the raisins in your nose and then eat them? That was to a 4th grader that I was unfortunately able to see what was happening and then had to go take care of it. So.
Oh yeah, no, right before COVID hit, back in March, the Black Friday, I remember sitting there telling the kids, hey, make sure this weekend, and this was before we knew, or we didn't know we were going to be coming back, and just kind of joking around with them. And it's like, hey, make sure to keep washing your hands, all this stuff. And then I go, now guys, make sure you're not licking the windows over this weekend either. Cause window licking, not good. And, just getting those looks like, what is Mr. Keefe talking about? Yeah. Who's going to go lick windows? And, we're now 10 months later, and I'm sure they're finally like, I wish we could lick windows again. But yeah, no, it's all those fun things. And what state are we in right now?
Idaho.
Okay. So you mentioned something, and this kid, just thinking about names, and I don't even know what triggered my mind, but there was a kid I had one year who, for the longest time, honestly believed that we were in Ohio.
Okay.
And I go, dude, what? Because he literally wrote, it was some assignment. I think it was a bonus point. And at the end of the test, and I go, okay, now what state are you in? Just, way to give the kids a point, whatever.
Yeah.
And he writes Ohio. And I go, are you serious? He goes, yeah, we're in Ohio. I go, no, we're in Idaho. No, Ohio. I'm like, no, are you punking me, dude? He goes, no, we're in Ohio. I swear we are in Ohio. And it took a good 5 minutes to convince him, after pulling out my phone and doing the GPS, to show him that we were in Idaho.
I was going to say, please tell me you use this for a geography lesson right here.
Oh yeah. We pulled up the map and everything.
Yeah. And
it was funny because, he knew on the map where we were, but just, whatever reason, whenever he heard Idaho, he thought Ohio, which they kind of do sound, similar. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. And I've actually heard that before. I've heard that. And what's the other one? Iowa, I think, gets confused with Idaho.
Yeah.
In name,
Which maybe they combined Iowa and Ohio and came up with Idaho.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Maybe we'll need to check that database. The database.
Right. Yeah, I got to write that one down. I got to put your name next to it too, so that
Oh yeah. Just put Keefe on January 15th and trademark it.
There you go.
The database. But Jeff, so as we wrap up here, we got a few minutes to go, and if you're still listening, congratulations. You've made it through. But Jeff, so usually we'll end with something, and whether it be what TV show we're watching or music, But tonight we're going to go different routes, and I'm going to ask you what movie is the movie that if you're flipping through the channel or seeing something on, or you're just like, I just need to chill and watch a movie, what movie are you going to?
Do I have to pick one?
Let's say your top 5.
Well, the Lord of the Rings series is going to be right up there.
Okay.
And the Avengers Endgame will be one of them.
Just Endgame?
Just Endgame. The others are good, but Endgame was phenomenal.
Okay.
Tombstone.
I'll be your Huckleberry.
Open Range.
Yeah, was that Tombstone. Did I do the wrong? Was that from Tombstone?
Yeah, that's from Tombstone. Okay. That's from Doc Holliday.
Yes.
Doc Holliday said. In fact, that's what I want to have engraved on. Well, not engraved, but embossed or whatever you call it on my pool cue case. I'll be your Huckleberry, because that's basically.
I thought you were going to say on your tombstone.
That's basically calling people out, and so I'd like to have that on my pool cue case. So yeah, those are probably some of the main ones that I'd reach for.
So Lord of the Rings, Tombstone, and Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
What about The Matrix?
The Matrix confuses me. I get so confused with movies, although Endgame has that time thing, but they don't try and justify it and do all these twists and turns with it. The Matrix, I like the movie. I like the action of the movie and all that, but as far as what's happening time-wise and space-wise and all that, I'm just like, okay, I am lost now.
I remember sitting in the theater, and The Matrix came out 1999, I believe. I'm not sure. Let's see here. What year did The Matrix come out? It was in 99. Yeah, March 31st, 1999. Wow, I feel old. Sorry, Jeff. No offense.
None taken.
But I remember sitting in the theater, and I turned to my friend Rick, and I'm there with my other friend Kyle, and I go, what is going on? I don't get this. And it took me a while, and I watched it again and again, because I ride the struggle bus sometimes. And again, okay, this movie is brilliant. And that's one of them that if you haven't watched in a while, it might be a time to watch again.
Oh, I just thought of one more that I just recently bought, and I can't get enough of. I Can Only Imagine. You don't know I Can Only Imagine?
What it'll be like?
No, come on. I mean, yeah, you know the song.
When I Walk?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no, that is a fantastic movie. That's actually one of Zane's and my favorites.
Yep.
And it's really good. It's just good.
It's very well put together. Very well.
And you wouldn't necessarily think of Dennis Quaid in that kind of a role,
right?
Of being the dad, but it was like, wow.
Yeah,
you kind of step back. Yeah, no, that's one. Have you seen I Still Believe?
I don't know if I've heard of that one.
So it's the story of Jeremy Camp.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't heard of that one.
So that's another really good one that came out. And about that same time, there was a third. Not about that same time. There's two other ones. The Shack.
Okay, haven't heard of that one.
Oh man. And then the other one is Heaven Is For Real.
I haven't heard of that one either.
Oh man, this is going to have to be a whole another show as we discuss these ones, because they're not only are they good movie wise, they're good story wise, and they're good faith wise.
Okay,
so
I'll have to watch them.
Yeah,
if you have them, I'm borrowing them.
Yeah, I only have them digitally, so I might need to, let you borrow my username and password. But I'm okay with that.
All right.
And other than I'm sure they're listening to us right now, so I did not say that. That is not going to happen. But back to what I was saying, you know, The Matrix is one of mine. Remember the Titans is another one for me.
That's a good one.
Just an amazing movie. And then Rudy.
I never saw Rudy.
Oh man, that's so okay. Any of the actually any of the MCU universe, I'd sit down and watch. Any of them. I don't care if it's going all the way back to Iron Man, which actually the first, oddly enough, there's people to debate this, that the first movie in the MCU universe was Howard the Duck.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. Because he's part of the comics, right? So
right. So for me, going back to Iron Man, any of those, Iron Man to Thor to Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, any of those, all in my wheelhouse. I'll sit and watch those anytime.
Yeah.
But the one that still always stands out is going to be Jurassic Park. The original Jurassic Park.
Okay, the original Jurassic Park, yeah. It slowly started to get worse and worse for me. But the first one was good.
First one's fantastic. The Lost World #2 was not horrible. I know a lot of people hated it, but I read the book first, so it had that piece to me that I really loved. I will not, and I absolutely will not watch Jurassic Park 3 ever again in my life. And if you ever hear me talking about Jurassic Park 3, literally punch me. I don't care if you have to jump through a screen.
Was that with Chris Pratt?
No, those are Jurassic World, and those are better than 3. Jurassic Worlds are fun.
Okay.
But 3, no, stupid. Jurassic World and Jurassic World: The Fallen Kingdom, they're fun. I'm not saying they're really good. I'm saying they're fun.
Oh, I get that. You wouldn't get a critic saying they're good, but
right.
Yeah.
And with Jurassic World, the nostalgia piece was in there from the original Jurassic Park, where you have these different things, like it showed the original Jeep that they rode in on, and it goes back to the original visitor center, and you have the T-Rex in there, all those things. It brought me back to put in a good way, I guess,
to the first one.
Yeah. And I will reluctantly, and I don't want to, but I will agree with you on the Lord of the Rings, because they're just so ridiculously well done.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Though they are long, they are really long, and you might have to watch them in a couple of sittings at a time, especially the extended. But they are just that good, and the soundtrack, the action, everything about them. Like, I cannot find a flaw in those movies other than they could have broken them up into 6 different movies.
They could have. Yeah, they could have. That soundtrack, though, I mean, I put on the movie and it's just playing that flute. I think it's a flute at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just soothing. It's just soothing.
Oh yeah.
I would love to go to New Zealand and tour Middle Earth.
Oh yeah, it'd be fun.
That would be a very cool thing.
And that actually brings up a good idea for another podcast. Another topic for us is, what's playing. And because Lord of the Rings, whenever I would give my kids a test, I would play one of two things. I would either play the Lord of the Rings soundtrack because it's soothing, mm-hmm. or I would play the Last of the Mohicans soundtrack.
Never saw that.
Oh, Jeff. So, okay, you've got over the weekend. Your homework is to watch Rudy and Last of the Mohicans.
I've already got to watch one of the custodians at my work gave me Dennis the Menace, which I've got here, with Walter Matthau, and he said I got to watch it. So I still got to watch that.
It's been since elementary school that I've watched that movie, but I can understand.
I've never seen it. It always looks stupid to me, but he said you got to watch it. So I'm like, all right, I'll watch it. So
yeah, well, I mean, you do have an Oregon Duck sweatshirt, so it might fit right up your alley. I'm going to throw that in every chance I get.
Oh, that's right.
but it's what I do. But dude, so any lasting thoughts on this Friday Fun Day, this episode 5, as we wrap it up? Any final thoughts, questions, wonderings?
No, nothing that I can think of, except for maybe why you've got a purple circle with a yellow W or whatever that was on that glass right there.
This right here?
Yeah, that right there.
It screams excellence.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's better than pond water. But anyway, if any of you that have stuck around for this hour, it has been fun as always. We appreciate it. Remember, you can listen to us on whatever podcast platform: Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, and follow us on Twitter. Remember, I am at Keef67. If you want to join us at some point, shoot us a message, and we'd love to have you. And Jeff, appreciate it as always. Fun as always. And, you know, can't wait to get our next episode 6 in.
Yep.
And until next time, we will talk to you later. If you'd like to join us live and interact in future shows, or to be a guest on the show, be sure to follow Tyler Keefe on Twitter at Keefe67 and like the Teacher Dudes on Facebook. If you haven't already subscribed to the Teacher Dudes, hit that subscribe button on whichever platform you're listening to, and be sure to also leave us a rating.